My wife demanded I babysit her sister's two minions every weekend, so they could go clubbing. When I said no, she gave me an ultimatum, so I handed her divorce papers. Sup, Reddit. My wife demanded I babysit her sister's sons. I did it twice. Both times were a disaster. I told her it's not happening again. She lost her mind, called me useless in my own house, and gave me an ultimatum, so I handed her divorce papers 2 days later. Grab your popcorn. This one's savage. Name's Milo, 32 male. I'd been married to my wife Bonnie for 3 years when her sister moved back to town and everything went sideways. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. The kind of marriage where you actually still liked each other, you know? We dated for 2 years, got married at a small ceremony that didn't bankrupt either of us. Smart financial decision turned out. I work in supply chain management for a mid-sized distribution company, pull about $78,000 annually. She's 30, works as an office manager for a dental practice, brings home around $42,000. We kept our finances separate from day one because we're both adults who understand that merging accounts is how people end up on Judge Judy. She had her checking account, I had mine. We split the mortgage and utilities based on who made what. Worked fine. The house is mine. Bought it 2 years before we met when I got a decent bonus, and the market wasn't completely insane. It's paid down and the mortgage is manageable. Bonnie moved in after the wedding, which made sense since she'd been renting a studio apartment that cost almost as much as my mortgage. Her car, though, that's where it gets interesting. Her 2009 Toyota died about 6 months into our marriage. Transmission went out on the highway, left her stranded for 3 hours. The repair estimate was $3,200 for a car worth maybe $2,800. I co-signed for her new Camry because her credit was mediocre and she needed the better interest rate. Titles in both our names, but I'm primary. Insurance is under my policy. Remember this part. It becomes important later. Life was good. We had our routines. I'd hit the gym at 6, she'd sleep in until 7, I'd make coffee, she'd burn toast. We'd both head to work, text throughout the day, come home and actually talk to each other about our days. Weekends were for catching up on shows, trying new restaurants, visiting my buddy Silas for whatever sporting event was on. Normal married people stuff. Then her sister called 6 months ago. Her sister Haley's 33, recently divorced, with 2 sons ages 6 and 8. Let me tell you about these kids. The 6-year-old Aiden has the energy of a caffeinated squirrel and makes decisions like a reckless gambler. The 8-year-old Luca is somehow worse. He's at that age where he thinks he's smarter than every adult in the room and acts like it. Together, they're like a natural disaster you can't evacuate from. Haley had been living 3 states away with husband number 2, but that fell apart. Apparently, he got tired of supporting 3 people who weren't biologically his and gave her an ultimatum. She chose the kids, he chose freedom, and suddenly she was packing up her life and moving back home. Except home was our parents' place, and they made it very clear after 1 week that this wasn't happening long term. So she got a 2-bedroom apartment about 20 minutes from our place. The first visit was fine. Hour and a half, the kids mostly behaved. Haley seemed stressed but managing. We ordered pizza, the kids watched TV, adults talked. Normal family stuff. Bonnie was happy to have her sister nearby again. They'd been close growing up, drifted apart when Haley moved away. Second visit, week later. Aiden knocked over a lamp, $50 at Target to replace. Luca decided my leather couch was a trampoline. Haley just kept scrolling through her phone, occasionally saying gentle things like sweetie, inside voices while they tested every boundary they could find. Third visit, her sister asked if we could watch the kids for a few hours on Saturday. She had a job interview. Sure, no problem. We can handle 2 kids for a few hours. How hard could it be? That Saturday, I called my best friend Silas. If I'm going down, I'm taking someone with me. Silas is 34, works in commercial insurance sales, perpetually single by choice. He showed up with a case of energy drinks and a look on his face like he was going to war. You owe me for this, he said. I'll buy lunch for a month. 2 months. Deal. Haley dropped the kids off at noon. Said she'd be back by 4. The interview was at 1. Weird math, but whatever. The second her car left the driveway, Aiden found every breakable item in my living room, like a heat-seeking missile. Luca immediately demanded we order pizza, watch his favorite YouTube channel, and give him the Wi-Fi password so he could play games on his tablet. It's noon, I said. You just ate breakfast. I'm hungry. You're 6. You're always hungry. That's not an emergency. Silas looked at the kids, then at me. These are the kids that broke your TV? Yep. And you agreed to watch them again? Seemed like a good idea at the time. Brother, you have the survival instincts of a lemming. Silas was already regretting his life choices. I could see it in his eyes. We tried to set them up with a movie, found something age-appropriate on Netflix, got them settled on the couch with popcorn. Lasted 12 minutes. Aiden got bored and started doing parkour off the furniture. Luca decided the popcorn was more fun to throw than eat. Silas caught a kernel in his eye. "This is a nightmare," Silas said, picking popcorn out of his beard. "This is an actual nightmare, and we're being punished for sins we haven't even committed yet. It's been 40 minutes. Feels like 40 years. How is that possible? Time doesn't work right around these kids. You're being dramatic. I'm being accurate. Look at my watch. I swear it's moving backwards. We couldn't do 4 hours." At one point, Aiden discovered that if he screamed directly into the couch cushions, it made a funny sound. Did this for 20 minutes straight, just face planted into the cushions and wailed. Silas looked at me like he was planning my murder. "Why did I agree to this?" Silas asked. "Because you're a good friend." "I'm rethinking that friendship." Luca found my Bluetooth speaker, connected his tablet to it, started playing videos at maximum volume. Farting sounds. Loud, echoed fart sounds. By hour 2, Aiden had discovered my toolbox in the garage and decided to take apart my bike. Just started removing bolts with a wrench he definitely shouldn't have been able to reach. Found him with the front wheel completely off, looking proud of himself. "I fixed it. You destroyed it." Same thing. Luca spent the entire time antagonizing Silas, asking him why he was so old, why he didn't have kids, why his beard was so weird, whether he lived in his mom's basement. Kid had a PhD in finding insecurities. Silas is about 2 seconds from Googling, "Is it illegal to leave children at a fire station if they're not yours?" They got into the pantry and found my protein powder. Aiden thought it was hot chocolate mix. Made himself a shake with tap water and no mixing. Just dumped powder in a cup, added water, drank it. Immediately spit it everywhere. White powder all over my kitchen floor. "I don't like it," Aiden announced. "It's not hot chocolate, it's protein powder." "Why do you have yucky powder?" "Why did you drink it without asking?" No answer. Just blank stare. At 3:30, Bonnie texted, "Haley's interview ran long. She'll be another 2 hours. Minimum. Maybe 3. "You said 4 hours," Silas said. "Plans change. I want a new best friend." We ordered pizza out of desperation. Figured food would calm them down. Wrong. Aiden ate 2 bites and declared it disgusting. Luca ate 4 slices, then announced he was lactose intolerant and his stomach hurt. He wasn't lactose intolerant. Around 5 p.m., Aiden found permanent markers in my office drawer. Drew on himself. Face, arms, stomach. Looked like a tiny tattooed prisoner. Silas started laughing so hard he couldn't breathe. I took photos in case I needed evidence later. "Your sister's gonna love this," I texted Bonnie. Her response, "Oh no." Very helpful. Then Luca discovered my toolbox was still accessible and tried to fix the kitchen cabinet door. Unscrewed 3 hinges before I caught him. The door fell off completely. Just fell right onto the floor. He looked at me like this was my fault somehow. "I was helping," he said. "You destroyed it. It was already broken. It wasn't broken until you touched it." No response, just walked away. Silas was sitting on the floor at this point, defeated. "This is character building," he muttered. "This is making me stronger as a person." "You don't sound convinced." "I'm not." They finally left at 6:30. 6.5 hours. Haley showed up looking refreshed, like she'd been at a spa. Hair done, makeup perfect, new outfit. Said the interview went great. "Thanks so much. You're lifesavers." The kids had destroyed my living room, dismantled my bike, and traumatized Silas. After they left, Silas turned to me. "Never again." "Agreed. I'm serious. You could be on fire, and these kids are the only ones with water. I still wouldn't do this again." Noted. I need food. Several burgers. And possibly therapy. Bonnie thought it was sweet that I helped. Said Haley really appreciated it. I told her it was a one-time thing. She said of course she wouldn't ask again unless it was an emergency. 2 weeks later, another emergency. Haley called on a Thursday night. Had a date. First date since the divorce. Really needed this. "Could we please watch the kids Saturday?" Just for a few hours. She deserved this. She'd been through so much. Bonnie gave me the puppy dog eyes. "Come on, just one more time." Against my better judgment, I agreed. Called Silas. "Heck no. Come on, man. I need backup." I said never again. I meant it. I have it tattooed on my chest now. Never babysit again. "You don't have any tattoos." "I'm getting one, right after this call. I'll buy you lunch for 3 months. 4 months and you're paying for my therapy. Deal." Saturday arrived like an execution date. Silas showed up looking like he'd prepared for combat. Brought his Nintendo Switch, figured he could bribe them with video games. Smart thinking. Haley dropped them off at 2, said she'd be back by 6. Absolute latest? 7. She's lying, Silas said the second she left. And we both know it. He was right. Luca immediately demanded Silas's Switch. Silas said no, it's mine. Luca threw himself on the floor and started screaming. Not crying. Screaming. Aiden saw this and decided to join in solidarity. 2 kids screaming for no reason other than they could. My neighbors definitely called the cops, I'm sure of it. We got them calmed down by offering snacks. Gave them fruit, crackers, juice boxes, tried to be responsible about it. They ate for 10 minutes, then Aiden announced he needed to use the bathroom. Took him upstairs. He locked himself in and refused to come out. Started singing at the top of his lungs. Just nonsense sounds. For 20 minutes. Meanwhile, Luca found a Sharpie. Don't ask me where he got it. Don't ask me how he found it. Kid's got a sixth sense for contraband. He decorated my dining room table. Drew what I think was supposed to be a dinosaur but looked like a demon, having an existential crisis. Silas tried to clean it with rubbing compound. Made it worse. Now there's a gray smear across the entire surface that looks like someone died there. I'm moving to Canada, Silas said, staring at the ruined table. Aiden finally emerged from the bathroom. Announced he was bored. Started opening every cabinet, every drawer, every closet in my house. Found my wedding photo album. Took it outside. Left it on the driveway. In the rain that started 10 minutes later. My wedding photos, soaked through. Silas looked at me. That's a sign, brother. When a 6-year-old ruins your wedding photos, the universe is screaming at you. Around 4 p.m., we tried to put on another movie. They lasted 7 minutes this time. Somehow worse than the first babysitting attempt. Aiden started crying because he missed his mom. Luca told him to shut up. Aiden hit him. Luca hit back harder. Now they're wrestling. Full WWE-style brawl in my living room. We separated them. Put one in the living room, one in the kitchen. Aiden immediately started opening the fridge, taking things out, leaving them on the counter. Mayo, ketchup, eggs, just out, open. Luca turned on the TV full volume and started flipping through channels at seizure-inducing speed. We're in a nightmare, Silas said. This is an actual nightmare. We've established that. At 5 p.m., Luca announced he was hungry again. We just fed him an hour ago. Made him a sandwich. He took one bite, said it was disgusting, threw it at the wall. Peanut butter and jelly splattered everywhere. Aiden thought this looked fun and threw his juice box. Now there's juice running down my kitchen wall. I'm never having children, Silas announced for the 3rd time. I'm scheduling a vasectomy. Monday. First thing. 6 o'clock came and went. No sister. 7 o'clock. Nothing. Bonnie texted, said Haley's date was going really well. She'd be a bit late. Maybe 9. I'm going to cry, Silas said. Around 8 p.m., Aiden found my laptop. Opened it. Started pressing random keys. Managed to somehow change my display settings to Korean. I still don't know how. Luca discovered my Bluetooth speaker again. Connected it to something. Started playing what sounded like death metal. Or screaming. Hard to tell the difference. By 9 p.m., my house looked like a crime scene. Food everywhere. Toys scattered. Furniture displaced. Mysterious stains on surfaces I couldn't identify. Silas was sitting on the floor, staring at nothing, having an existential crisis. We could just leave, he said. Just walk out. Let them fend for themselves. That's illegal. Is it, though? Is it really? Pretty sure abandoning minors is frowned upon. Everything fun is illegal. Haley finally showed up at 9:47, almost 10 o'clock, glowing like she'd just had the best night of her life. Said the date was amazing. She thinks he might be the one. The one. After 3 weeks of knowing him, asked if the kids were good. They were great, Bonnie lied through the phone. The second they left, Silas looked at me. I'm done. Whatever friendship we had, it's over. We're through. I'm blocking your number. I'm moving to a different state. I'm changing my identity. You don't mean that. Brother, I've never meant anything more in my life. That night, I told Bonnie we're not doing it again. Ever. I don't care if it's an emergency. I don't care if her sister's apartment catches fire and she needs somewhere to take the kids while fighting the flames. Not doing it. She got quiet. Said I was being dramatic. They're just kids. They're going through a hard time with the divorce. We should be supportive. I am supportive, I said. I supported them twice. I'm done supporting them. My house looks like a disaster zone. Silas is questioning his existence. My wedding photos are destroyed. My table has permanent Sharpie stains. I'm out. That's when things started changing. Haley started coming around more. Not with the kids, just her. She and Bonnie would sit in our living room for hours, talking about empowerment and independence and living their best lives, whatever that means. Then they started going out, girls' nights, reconnecting. First one was a Wednesday. My wife came home at midnight, talking about how liberating it was to just let loose. Forgot her keys, had to wake me up by pounding on the door. Didn't apologize. Cool. Everyone needs to blow off steam. Second girls' night was Friday. Came home at 2 a.m. I woke up to her tripping over furniture, cursing, laughing at herself. Started becoming a pattern. Every week, sometimes twice a week, they'd go clubbing, hit up these empowerment circles that sounded like a cult, but were apparently very healing. Bonnie started dressing differently. Not bad, just different. More makeup, tighter clothes, higher heels she could barely walk in. Started talking differently too. Lots of phrases like, I need to prioritize myself and I'm discovering who I really am. Society put so many expectations on women became her go-to explanation for everything. Started coming home with new purchases she couldn't afford. Her credit card statements were piling up on the counter. I saw the balances. Over $6,000 and climbing. Then she stopped cooking. Just stopped. Used to make dinner a few times a week. Now it was takeout, or I'm not hungry. Stopped doing her laundry, let it pile up until she had nothing clean. I wasn't doing it for her. We're adults. Figure it out. Sure. Okay. You do you. Then came the request. Haley needed help with the kids again. She had this amazing guy she was seeing. Yes, a new one. They wanted a weekend together. Could we please watch the kids? Just Saturday and Sunday. She'd pay us. Nope, I said. What? No, we're not doing it. Bonnie's face changed. Got cold. It's one weekend. It's 2 full days with 2 kids who destroy everything they touch. Hard pass. She's my sister. She needs help. Then you watch them. Without me. That's not fair. What's not fair is volunteering my time without asking me first. What's not fair is expecting me to give up my weekend after those kids destroyed the house. She tried the guilt trip. They've been through so much. Kids act out when they're dealing with trauma. Haley's trying to move on with her life. We should support family. I did that, I said. Twice. I'm done. You're being selfish. I'm being clear. No means no. That's my boundary. She didn't like that. Went to the bedroom, slammed the door. Didn't talk to me for 2 days. When she finally did, it was to tell me how disappointed she was in me. How she expected more from her husband. How a real partner would step up. A real partner would respect boundaries, I said. That was a mistake. Gave her ammunition. The following Tuesday, I came home from work to find Bonnie, Haley, and my mother-in-law Gloria sitting in my living room. Intervention-style seating arrangement. They'd been waiting for me. We need to talk, Gloria said. Great. Haley started with the sob story. How hard her life has been, how much she's sacrificing, how she just wants a few hours of happiness. Gloria jumped in with family obligations and supporting each other. Bonnie just sat there, arms crossed, looking at me like I was the villain. You have no idea what it's like being a single mom, Haley said. You're right, because they're not my kids. Gloria did that disappointed sigh. When I raised my girls, we believed in helping each other. Then you watch them, your family too. I have my book club and my aqua aerobics. So you're busy. Me too. Haley started crying. Said I was being cruel, that she never expected this from me. Bonnie held her hand, shot me a disgusted look. They tried for another 30 minutes. I sat there and let them talk themselves out. Finally said, if we're done here, I've got things to do. They left. Gloria gave me a look like I'd betrayed the family. That night, Bonnie slept in the guest room. Things got worse after that. She started going out more, 3, 4 times a week, coming home later and later. I stopped asking where she'd been. She stopped telling me. We'd go entire evenings without speaking, just existing in the same space like roommates who didn't like each other. Haley kept calling, kept asking. Bonnie kept bringing it up. I kept saying no. Became this cycle. The more I refused, the more my wife pulled away. The more her sister influenced her, the more she changed. She started talking about how marriage shouldn't limit personal growth, how she felt trapped by expectations, how she needed to explore who she was outside of being a wife. All phrases that sounded like they came straight from Haley's mouth. Then came the final straw. It was a random Tuesday night. We were both home, rare occurrence these days. I was watching TV, she was on her phone texting Haley. Had been texting for 40 minutes straight. I could see her screen from the corner of my eye. Lots of eye-roll emojis. I asked what she wanted for dinner. Simple question. I don't know, she said, not looking up from her phone. Whatever you want. Chinese? Sure, I ordered. It arrived 30 minutes later. We ate in silence at opposite ends of the couch. She was still on her phone. Then, out of nowhere, she started up again about her sister needing help this weekend. Already said no, I said. You're being ridiculous. I'm being clear. No, you're being selfish. You're being a child. Grow up and help your family. Something in her tone, the dismissiveness, the contempt, like I was beneath her. Excuse me? You heard me. Stop being a child. Stop being useless. Just step up and be a man for once. There it was. The disrespect I'd been waiting for. The line in the sand. I set down my food, looked at her, took a breath. Say that again. Which part? The part where you disrespected me in my own house. Oh, your house. There it is. Your house, your rules, your way. God forbid I have a say. You have a say. You don't have the right to disrespect me. She laughed. Disrespect you? You've been disrespecting my entire family for weeks. But sure, I hurt your feelings. Poor baby. I stood up, grabbed my keys. I'm going to Silas's. We'll talk when you've calmed down. Run away. That's what you do. I left, drove to Silas's place. He took one look at me and knew something was wrong. What happened? I told him. Everything. He nodded. You know what you gotta do? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. Say it out loud. I'm done. He nodded. We sat in silence for a minute. That night, I didn't go home. Slept on Silas's couch. Spent the next day calling a divorce attorney. Yes, I was actually done. I had a consultation over the phone. Explained the situation. He said, with separate finances, no kids, and the house in my name, it'd be straightforward. I had him draw up the papers. I came home Thursday afternoon while she was at work. Spread the divorce papers on the kitchen table. Nice and neat. Impossible to miss. Left a note on top. We're done. Papers are on the table. You've got until Sunday to get your stuff out. Car keys too. Took photos of everything for documentation. Then I grabbed my essentials, loaded my car, went back to Silas's and waited. She called at 5:40 p.m. 19 missed calls in 12 minutes. Didn't answer any of them. Then the text started. Paragraphs. Novels. Everything from, are you serious, to you're throwing away 3 years over nothing. My phone vibrated so much it fell off the coffee table. Dude, Silas said, watching it buzz on the floor. She's losing it. Good. The voicemails started around 7 p.m. First one was crying, begging me to call her back. Second one was angry, saying I was a coward for not facing her. Third one was Haley in the background coaching her on what to say. I could hear it clear as day. Tell him he's making a mistake. Tell him you'll go to counseling. Didn't respond to any of it. At 8:30, she showed up at Silas's apartment, pounding on the door, crying, screaming. Silas opened it. He doesn't want to talk to you, Silas said. This is between me and my husband. Not anymore, it's not. He's done. She tried to push past him. Silas is a big guy. Didn't happen. She stood there in the hallway, melting down. Saying she didn't mean it, she was stressed. We could fix this. Sunday, Silas called through the door. Your stuff. Gone. Or donated. Your call. She left eventually. Called 17 more times that night. I silenced my phone. Friday morning, I went back to the house. She was at work. Changed the locks. All of them. Packed up her stuff next. Everything I could find. Clothes, shoes, makeup, toiletries. That stupid decorative sign she insisted on hanging in the kitchen that said, Live, Laugh, Love. Found it in the back of the pantry where I'd hidden it 6 months ago. Into the box it went. 23 boxes total. Labeled each one. Found some things that annoyed me. 3 Amazon packages I'd paid for. Subscription boxes charged to my credit card. Her Netflix profile had been upgraded to premium on my account without asking. Little things that added up. Little things that showed how one-sided everything had been. Saturday, Haley showed up. Not with the kids, just her. Started pounding on my door. I didn't answer. She stood outside yelling for 15 minutes. Threatened to call the cops. I yelled back that she's trespassing and I've already called them. She left. Sunday afternoon, they came together. Bonnie, Haley, and Gloria. Triple threat. I opened the door, pointed at the boxes in the garage. Everything's there. Take it and leave. Haley started immediately. You're pathetic. My sister deserves better. Then she should have no problem finding it. Gloria tried reason. You should talk this through. Marriage is work. I didn't give up. I got disrespected and made a choice. Boxes are right there. They took the boxes. 3 trips. The whole time, Bonnie kept crying, trying to catch my eye. I didn't engage. When they finished, I closed the garage door. Wait, she said. Can we please talk? Nothing to talk about. It's done. I'll change, please. You had 3 years. You chose different. Consequences. They left. Monday, the smear campaign started. Haley posted on social media about emotionally abusive husbands and narcissists. Tagged Bonnie with enough details that mutual friends figured it out. I got messages within an hour. People taking sides without knowing the full story. Didn't engage. Just screenshotted everything. Sent it to my attorney. Tuesday, Haley called my job. My boss shut it down immediately. Told her if she called again, he'd report it for harassment. She sent an email instead. He forwarded it to me with, "Document everything." I forwarded it to my attorney. Wednesday through Friday brought more harassment. 1-star Google reviews for my company, mentioning me by name. My boss got IT to remove them. Someone egged my house. The security camera caught it. Saved the footage. Friday night, someone posted my home address in a Facebook group. Full address, photo of my house. My attorney said we had grounds for a restraining order, but I said, let's wait. Saturday, Haley showed up at my house. Stood on my lawn screaming about how I'd ruined her sister's life. I recorded from the window. Neighbors came out to watch. Someone threatened to call the cops, and she left. 3 hours later, Gloria showed up. Different approach. Knocked politely. "This has gone too far," she said. "Agreed. Tell your daughter to stop the harassment. I'm talking about you. Divorcing my daughter over one argument? She disrespected me. I made a choice. Consequences. Family forgives. I'm not family anymore." She left. Sunday was quiet. Suspiciously quiet. I spent the day organizing evidence. Screenshots, videos, call logs, everything. Silas came over that night. "You think it's over?" "Doubt it." I was right. Turned out the following Wednesday, Bonnie texted. Said she's fine with the divorce, but she's keeping the car. It's hers. She needs it for work. I texted back. Titles in both our names. I'm the primary owner. Insurance is under my policy. The car gets returned or I report it stolen. You wouldn't do that. Watch me. Thursday. She still hadn't returned it. I called the police non-emergency line. Explained the situation. Divorce pending. Car titled to me. She's refusing to return it. They said I could file a stolen vehicle report. I did. 2 hours later, cops showed up at Haley's apartment, where she'd been staying. Took the car. Bonnie called me, screaming. Said I'd humiliated her, ruined her, destroyed her life. You should have returned the car. She showed up at my house later that evening, begging through the door about having no way to get to work. I told her through the door that Uber exists. Friday, Haley called from a different number. "You're a loser. My sister's better off without you." "Great. Then she should be happy about the divorce." Hung up. The divorce moved forward. 30-day waiting period. My attorney said it was one of the most straightforward cases he'd handled. No assets to split, no kids, clear evidence of attempt to reconcile. Just waiting out the clock. Week 3, I heard through mutual friends that things weren't going well for Bonnie. Haley's new boyfriend didn't work out. Apparently, he got tired of her bringing the kids on every single date and bailed after 3 weeks. Told her he wasn't looking to play stepdad. Now Haley was drowning in single mom responsibilities, with no support system and a rapidly depleting dating pool. And guess who became the emergency babysitter? Bonnie. Every weekend, Haley was dumping Aiden and Luca on her. Now she's spending every weekend at her sister's cramped apartment dealing with 2 kids who destroy everything. One of Bonnie's coworkers reached out to me. Said she was worried. My wife had called out 3 times in 2 weeks. Showed up late multiple times. Was making mistakes on patient schedules. Mixing up appointments, double booking slots. The dentist had pulled her aside for a talk. One more incident and she'd be on probation. "I thought you should know," the coworker said. "I know you're divorced, but I figured you might still care." I did care. Just not enough to do anything about it. Week 4, I heard she'd been let go from the dental office. The final straw was showing up 30 minutes late to open the office 3 days in a row. Just couldn't handle the pressure anymore. Lost her income completely. The social media posts got sadder. Quotes about betrayal and heartbreak. Photos with captions like self-care and finding myself. Pictures of her and Haley with captions about sisterhood and how men come and go but family is forever. The desperation was obvious. Haley was posting too. Long rants about toxic masculinity and emotional mistreatment. The comments were split between people supporting her and people calling out the obvious manipulation. Then I heard through Silas, who heard from a mutual friend, that the sisters had a massive fight. Haley needed coverage for a date, demanded Bonnie take the kids overnight. Bonnie said no, she had plans. Haley went nuclear, said she'd sacrificed everything to support my wife through the divorce. Now she couldn't do one simple favor? Called her selfish, ungrateful, exactly like her ex-husband. That last part apparently cut deep. They didn't speak for 4 days. Then Haley apologized, said she was stressed, Bonnie forgave her, and the cycle continued. Then came the desperate call. Week 4, my phone rang. Blocked number. Ignored it. They called again. And again. 4 times in 10 minutes. Finally answered on the 5th. Yes? It's me. Her voice was small, broken, barely recognizable. Like she'd been crying for hours. I need to talk to you. We have nothing to talk about. Please. I made a mistake. I was wrong. I want to come back. I'll do anything. There it was. Her life had fallen apart, and suddenly I looked good again. Suddenly, the guy she called useless was exactly what she needed. No. Please. I'll do anything. I'll change. I'll cut my sister off. I'll set boundaries. Just please take me back. I can't do this anymore. Divorce finalizes in 6 days. Answers no. But I still love you. Doesn't that mean anything? You should have thought about that before you disrespected me in my own house. Before you chose your sister over your marriage. I didn't mean it. I was stressed. She was in my ear constantly. Please. Goodbye. Wait. Hung up. Blocked the number. Blocked her on everything. Social media, phone, email, done, finished, day 30, divorce finalized. I got the notification from my attorney at 2:15 p.m. It's done. You're officially divorced. Congratulations. Papers will arrive in 5 to 7 business days. I texted Silas. It's official. Dinner tonight? Definitely. That night, we hit our regular restaurant. Had a few rounds of food. Celebrated freedom. After that, life moved on. I kept working, kept hitting the gym, kept hanging with Silas. Started sleeping better, eating better. The house felt bigger without all her stuff. Quieter, peaceful. Reorganized the garage. Finally finished that project I'd been putting off. Built shelves, got everything sorted. Felt good. Started dating again. Nothing serious, just testing the waters. Went on a few dates, met some interesting people. No pressure, no drama, just casual conversations with adults who respected boundaries. 6 weeks post-divorce, on a random Saturday, Silas came over to watch the game. We ordered wings, settled in. About 20 minutes into the first quarter, someone started pounding on my door. You expecting someone? Silas asked. Nope. The pounding continued. Then the doorbell. Then both at once, like someone trying to break through. Silas looked through the peephole. It's your ex. And she looks unhinged. Don't answer it. Brother, she's not leaving. She's got that crazy look. More pounding. Now she was yelling. I know you're in there. Your car's in the driveway. Open the door. Silas looked at me. Want me to handle it? Let's both handle it. We opened the door. She was a mess. Hair unbrushed, makeup smeared, wearing sweatpants and a stained hoodie. Her eyes were red and puffy. She'd been crying for a while. We need to talk, she said. No. Please, Milo. Just 5 minutes. 2 minutes. She started crying immediately. Full breakdown. Said she'd made a huge mistake. Said Haley had poisoned her mind. Said she realized too late that I was the best thing in her life. I let her rant. Time's up. I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Just take me back. Please. Nope. Why not? We were good together. We were happy. Silas stepped forward. Look, no offense, but you had your chance. You had 3 years with a good dude who treated you right. You threw it away because your sister convinced you he wasn't good enough. Now you're here begging because your life fell apart and you realized you made a mistake. Too late. This is between me and my husband. Ex-husband, Silas corrected. Emphasis on ex. And honestly, you've got some nerve showing up here after everything. Then Haley has the audacity to call him a loser while her own life is a dumpster fire? Rich. My sister was protecting me. Your sister was dragging you down to her level, Silas said. Misery loves company. She's twice divorced, drowning in single mom chaos. Dating guys who bail the second they realize she brings too much baggage. Instead of dealing with her mess, she convinced you to blow up your life too. And you fell for it. Silas grabbed a water bottle. Took a sip right there in the doorway while she stood on my porch crying. This is unbelievable, she said. 3 years of marriage and this is what I get? Have you? She looked at me. Have you really moved on? Yes. I don't believe you. Didn't respond. Just looked at her. She stood there for another minute, crying, waiting for me to crack. I didn't. Finally, she turned around and walked back to her car. Some beat-up sedan I didn't recognize. Probably a rental. She sat there for a minute, head on the steering wheel, then drove away. Silas closed the door. Silence. Then Silas farted and whistled at the same time. Don't ask me. Dude, that was brutal. Had to be. We went back to the couch, watched the rest of the game, laughed, talked about normal stuff, work, the gym, Silas's latest date that went sideways because the girl brought her ex to dinner as a friend. Life stuff. Later that night after Silas left, I sat on my couch in my quiet house. No drama, no guilt trips, no demands, just peace. Put on some music, looked around at my space, my home, my life, everything in order exactly how I wanted it. 3 years of marriage, gone. 6 months of chaos, over. One disrespectful comment, all it took. Worth it. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.